Hi everybody, I'm Waddles. Lanterns are one of the many new features coming to Minecraft in the 1.14 Village and Pillage update. These things are absolutely beautiful, and there's really nothing bad to say about these at all. The texture is amazing, they pretty much work anywhere in any setting, and they're really not that expensive to make. So, I went ahead and played around with lanterns a little bit, and today I have 5 building ideas that involve lanterns for you. These ideas will be survival friendly and will be absolutely great ways to light up your world while making things look nice, of course. If you enjoy this build idea video and you want to see more, drop a like on this video and I'll do more. I don't really usually do these. Because lanterns are so new, I'll show the recipe off, and that recipe is right in front of us. 8 iron nuggets and a torch. That's it, and then you get a lantern. Now, lanterns have a light level of 15 and look pretty good pretty much anywhere. My first idea, though, has to do with some kind of odd, yet very nice looking bar thing going on. So, I'm using these lanterns to create a bar, or to continue a bar that is already built. Maybe you have a really long corridor in your base and then you kind of have some kind of lantern pattern. You could do a wave, you could have them all even, whatever you really want to do, but this would look quite nice along a wall. And in case you didn't believe me, here's a wall, and in my opinion, it looks pretty good. There is some depth going on with this wall as well, which definitely adds to things. Now, the nice thing about this design is that it's pretty easy to do. Of course, you can just use any fences and throw a lantern wherever you want, and there you go. You have your interesting looking light pole with a lantern in the middle of it. Now, of course, you could even, start alternating, but, yeah, that's totally up to you. Now, you might be saying, Waddles, this is nothing new. This is not creative, not cool, but it actually kind of is if you think about it. This is my second idea, just a basic light pole. Now, the reason I wanted to actually include this one in the video is because when compared to things that we would do before to make something similar, the lantern method is way cheaper, and in my opinion it looks better, honestly. So over here I have an old style like glowstone hanging light thing, and then of course a brand new lantern one. Now, to make this older wooden one, you'd need, of course, a little bit of wood and then some kind of light source. It could be a jack-o'-lantern, it could be glowstone. For the new one, you need stone and then a lantern. Now, of course, I'm using some andesite on the bottom as well. Now, as you can tell, the lantern one takes up a little less space, and in my opinion, this would fit a whole lot better in a medieval town, a big city, a more modern build, anything like that. The lanterns would be the way to go. Don't get me wrong, the wooden hanging light, the old one, is very nice, but it's just kind of hard sometimes to match the wood textures and wooden things to more modern or more simple or clean builds. Please hang in with me here because it looks a little weird at first, but imagine the bigger picture for this one. Right here I have a simple, basic, everyday house lamp with a lantern, of course. Now, sure, you could use glowstone in here or something like that, but it wouldn't look as good. Now, what I'm trying to do here is create a lampshade with the staircases, and then we have a trapdoor as the top, and then, of course, some fence poles going up and a lantern tucked in there. Now, you could really use any type of staircase you'd like to make this thing. You could be using smooth sandstone, you could be using stone, oak stairs, whatever you want to do, and then really whatever trapdoor you want on the top. The reason I say we got to think about the bigger picture here is because if you have a house, like a living room, and you built some kind of TV with a picture frame and everything like that, then this build right here will make a lot more sense. Sure, when I build it on a pink-red background, it stands out, right? It doesn't look all that interesting, but if you build this with some furniture around, so we have like a couch and stuff, it'll start to make a little bit more sense. Yeah, it kind of looks like Squidward, right? The point here is lanterns make very nice eye pupils. So the cool thing about the lantern is its size in comparison to a block. You can kind of have it hanging, and you can really make a very good face that's looking at something clearly or just kind of staring off, depending on how you put the lanterns. I thought this one was really clever and really cool because, again, the amount of customization that you can have. Right here, he's looking straight over there, and then maybe if we lower this a little bit, it almost looks like this guy is looking more downwards over that way. So basically, if you're making a big statue or a face or something like that, don't forget about lanterns for the eye. If you opted to use something like white concrete powder, you have a whole lot less options and things start to look a whole lot more derpy, and you would need to make your face a whole lot larger. So if you use these lanterns instead, you can get some cool stuff going on, and I mean, you could have a pretty nice looking Squidward in your creative world. So, my next idea was inspired by the Danger Chat. I mentioned that I was working on a lantern video, and Jay and Cameron mentioned how, man, wouldn't it have been nice if lanterns could hang off of walls? So I kind of got brainstorming, and this is the best we can do here. Now, of course, you can't hang lanterns off of walls, which is a huge shame, because I think that would look really, really good, but we can make some decent-looking alternatives and workarounds here. So right here, I'm using some trapdoors, and then I have a wood block and a slab on top, and I'm just, hanging the lantern there because we can't place lanterns on trapdoors. They will always be hanging. And then over here, I kind of blocked that off on the front. You could really use whatever type of wood you'd like, or if you have a lot more resources, you could actually use daylight detectors. Of course, you can change the state of it. It doesn't really change anything, but you can hang lanterns from daylight detectors, which is kind of interesting in my opinion. It's very interesting that these things can float in general, but that's fine. It makes a nice looking light, I think. And in a more modern build, the tiled look of the daylight detector bottom looks kind of nice, and the lantern hangs perfectly in the center, of course. So this makes a very, very nice, clean, small, modern hanging lantern. Now, to expand upon that idea, of course, you could use any type of staircase, any type of slab, but again, trapdoors won't work. So you'll need to have a hanging block above your lantern, and then you could encase it with more slabs, maybe more stairs, whatever you really want to do. It really depends on how much open space and room you really have, and the kind of feel or look that you're going for. So, those are 5 of my building ideas with lanterns, but I have another one. Now, this is a bonus tip because you need the debug stick to actually make this one work, and that's a creative item. You have to use the give command to give it to yourself. But if we have a block above something that we normally couldn't place a lantern on, we can't place a lantern on iron bars as of 18W47B, but if we have the stick and then we go ahead and change the state of the lantern, we can take the block out and then we have a lantern sitting on a perfect little pole. I think this looks really, really good. I don't really understand why we can't put a lantern on an iron bar. I guess I kind of get it with the glass, but if you're building a map or something like that, or just doing a creative build, keep this in mind. Keep the stick in mind in general, because you can actually change lanterns that are just sitting there to hanging lanterns if you want some floating lanterns, or almost even some Chinese lanterns that are kind of flying away in the sky in a way. That's kind of cool. And so, yeah, Chinese lantern. Kind of, right? I don't know. But those are 5, or I guess 6, of my lantern building ideas for now. What do you think? Which one was your favorite? Would you like to see more building idea videos from me? If you would, let me know down below or just leave a like. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have a 1.14 playlist on the end slide today for you to check out in just a moment. And go have a good day. My name is Waddles. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.